Welcome to San Francisco, a city steeped in history, shrouded in mist, and haunted by the echoes of the past. We're about to embark on a spine-chilling journey, a journey that will take us face to face with the restless spirits that roam these streets. From the infamous halls of Alcatraz to the shadowy corners of forgotten mansions, San Francisco holds secrets, dark secrets that whisper on the wind. We're here to listen to those whispers, to confront the unknown, and to uncover the truth behind the city's most chilling hauntings. Prepare yourself, because we're about to delve into the heart of darkness, where shadows dance and the veil between the living and the dead wears thin. This is not for the faint of heart, but for those brave enough to face the unknown. Get ready, because the spirits are waiting, and they have a story to tell. Surrounded by the icy waters of San Francisco Bay sits Alcatraz, a name synonymous with despair, isolation, and the chilling unknown. Once home to some of America's most notorious criminals, Alcatraz holds an energy unlike any place on Earth. The air is thick with the torment of former inmates, men like Al Capone and George Machine Gun Kelly, whose spirits are said to still roam the cell blocks. Visitors and guards alike have reported unexplained cold spots, disembodied voices, and the feeling of being watched. There's an oppressive weight within these walls, a sense of dread that seeps into your bones. Cell 14D is the most feared and legendary spot in the prison. This cell holds the chilling tale of an inmate whose untimely demise occurred within Cell 14D. His screams of terror echoed throughout the prison as he claimed an evil creature with glowing eyes that haunted the cell was going to claim him. He was found lying on the floor, strangled to death. Many tourists report that Cell 14D is icy cold, even during the warm months, often 20 to 30 degrees colder than anywhere else. The temperature drops are due to the evil spirit that still haunts that area. Warden Johnson led visitors on a tour. Sobs were heard from inside the prison walls. When the sobbing stopped, the group felt a gust of icy air pass by. Al Capone's final time at Alcatraz was mainly spent in the hospital because of an advanced case of syphilis. Instead of going outside for recreational time, he preferred to spend time in one of the shower rooms practicing his banjo. The sound of banjo music can still be heard on Alcatraz. Some believe it is the ghost of Al Capone. What is more chilling than cold spots and ghosts in Alcatraz are the mysterious disappearances on the island. Both visitors and inmates have mysteriously vanished, leaving behind chilling cold spots and unexplained disturbances. Inmates would vanish from cells, found later wandering the prison in a bewildered and disoriented state. The financial district. By day, it's a bustling hub of commerce. But when the sun sets, a different energy takes hold. The echoes of countless deals and shattered dreams linger in the air. No building is as shrouded in unsettling tales as 555 California. 555 California was built in 1969 as the world headquarters of Bank of America. It's a place where the line between the material world and the spectral realm seems to blur. Soon after 555 California opened for business, reports of poltergeist activity began to surface. Cold spots were felt floating from room to room, files would fly off shelves. An employee working late one night reported seeing his phone move off the hook. No one knows why 555 California is haunted, but many theorized it is the spirits of the victims of the 1906 earthquake who are still buried underneath the building, while others believe it's the collective energy of the men and women controlling the world's money, quest for even more money. However, when Bank of America moved to North Carolina in 1998, hauntings at 555 California settled down. 555 California stands as a chilling reminder that even in the heart of a bustling metropolis, the veil between our world and the next can be thin indeed. California Street, a ribbon of asphalt and ambition winding through San Francisco, witness to history from the gold rush to tech giants. Beneath its facade, secrets and stories whispered in the shadows. In 1876, an 18-year-old Flora Somerton was informed by her wealthy parents that she would marry an older man whom she did not love. Flora was angry and fearful. The guests at her engagement party were people of substance. Before her father made the official announcement at the party, Flora, dressed in an elaborate flowing beaded gown, fled the engagement party. Flora's parents and fiancé put all their resources into finding Flora, but she vanished like a ghost. However, 50 years later, her body was found in a boarding house in Butte, Montana, in 1926. On the night that when her body was found, her ghost, in tears, was seen walking down the middle of California Street, wearing the same dress from her engagement party. It is reported that on some foggy nights her ghost is seen. Stow Lake, a picturesque destination by day, shrouded in an eerie mist as night descends, becomes a breeding ground for paranormal activities. Legend has it that a grieving mother, searching for her lost baby, met an untimely demise in the lake's depths. Now, her forlorn spirit, forever known as the Lady in White, a young mother walked around the lake while pushing her baby in a stroller. After a while, she sat down on a bench for a rest. After visiting with another lady, she looked up and discovered the stroller and the baby were gone. All day long, in a panic, she asked everyone, "Have you seen my baby?" No one had seen her baby. The stroller had rolled into the lake. Upon realizing that could be the case, she walked into the lake. She was never seen alive again. For more than a century, the lake has been haunted by the young mother. Dressed in white, she approaches strangers during foggy nights and asks them, "Have you seen my baby?" The grand old dame of San Francisco's theater scene, the Curran Theater, a place where the spotlight has shone on countless performances, is said to harbor secrets behind its velvet curtains and beneath its creaking stage. For over a century, this iconic venue has borne witness to both triumph and tragedy, its history intertwined with tales of the supernatural. Whispers of unexplained noises, cold spots, and shadowy figures lurking in the wings have circulated among the theater's staff and performers for decades. Some even claim to have encountered the ghost of a former employee who met an untimely end during a production. Before a performance of Showboat in 1933, Eddie Anderson walked up to the Curran box office and pointed his gun through the window bars and demanded money. 25-year-old Hewlett Tarr, who was supporting his mother and due to marry in 2 weeks, was shot in the heart. The wounded, Tarr, fell down a flight of stairs and died. Anderson claimed that the gun went off by accident. However, after 7 hours of deliberation, he was sentenced to death. Anderson was hanged in San Quentin. Employees and audiences believe that Tarr still works at the Curran. People report seeing him in the large mirror in the theater. Others have seen him walking in the halls. He has been seen in the back of the theater checking in with actors. He will tip his cap to those who walk by him. Many think of Hewlett Tarr as the theater's angel who guards them from future violence. Nestled in the heart of San Francisco, the Queen Anne Hotel, once a finishing school for young ladies, stands as a testament to a bygone era. But beneath its charming Victorian facade lies a history steeped in sorrow and mystery, a tale that continues to fascinate and frighten in equal measure. Guests have reported experiencing strange occurrences within the hotel walls, from unexplained temperature drops and disembodied singing and feeling an unseen presence. Also, sounds of children laughing, playing, or crying have been heard in the hallways and empty rooms. At the center of these hauntings is Miss Mary Lake, the former headmistress of the school who was devastated when the school closed in 1896 due to financial problems. They say her spirit never truly left, forever mourning the life she once knew. Some even claim to have seen Miss Mary Lake herself. She is often spotted in her former office, now guest room 410. Miss Mary Lake is a friendly spirit who lovingly looks after the guests. Guests have reported feeling her comforting hand while they slept, singing to them as they fall asleep. Miss Lake wants the guests to feel at home. One night a man arrived very late at the hotel. He was too exhausted to get ready for bed, and he fell asleep on the made bed. When he woke up the next morning, he was under a blanket. One guest who checked in room 410 fell asleep on the floor. The guest woke up in the morning neatly tucked under bedding. Miss Lake tucks in a lot of guests. She also unpacks luggage and tidies up rooms as guests sleep. The Whittier Mansion. A grand old house that is now a private residence is steeped in history, but also in shadows. In 1894, William Whittier built the 30-room mansion. The mansion was a gift to his wife. Tragically, his wife died in a carriage accident during the construction of the mansion. Years later, Mr. Whittier died in his home of natural causes. In 1941, the late Whittier's daughter sold the mansion to the German Reich. However, the US government kicked all German diplomats out of the country. Some believe the diplomats returned to haunt the mansion and continue to spy. Whittier's son Billy, who lived as a drunken partier, is the shadow seen in the wine cellar. In 1912, the chauffeur was awakened by shattering glass in his bathroom. 2 bullets were fired through the window at the bathroom mirror. The chauffeur told the cops that he would stare at himself for long periods, and he suspected that the shots were an attempt on the part of someone familiar with his habits to end his vain career. There is speculation that the vain chauffeur is back to glance at himself in the bathroom mirror. A short, bald butler is frequently seen on the 2nd floor. A woman was spotted sitting in a chair. But the saddest haunting is a ghost thought to be William Whittier, awaiting his beloved wife to come home. Among the many haunted locations in San Francisco, the Atherton house stands out for paranormal activity. A Bay Area town is named after the extremely wealthy Athertons. Atherton made his fortune shipping goods. In Chile, he met and married Dominga de Goni. They had 7 children and settled in San Francisco. Atherton's fortune grew and the couple built a beautiful home on California Street, which is now referred to as the Atherton House. Their son George Atherton did not share his father's work ethic, nor was he strong-willed like his mother. George and his wife, Gertrude, lived in the mansion where he was allegedly subjected to cruelty by both his mother and wife, and the domineering women would humiliate George while out in public. George did not have steady employment and spent his family's money on questionable ventures. In a desperate attempt to escape his mother and wife, George Atherton decided to sail to Chile with his naval officer cousin. In March, on board the Pilcomayo, he developed a kidney stone and died. The cause of death was listed as a violent hemorrhage of the stomach. Throwing the wealthy Atherton's remains overboard was not an option. The ship captain, to preserve his remains, shoved George's body into a rum cask. The cask was dropped off in Tahiti and was shipped back to San Francisco. On the morning of June 24, 1887, Gertrude received the news her husband was dead. His body was waiting for her on the dock in a barrel. Legend has it that soon after, George's mother and wife were convinced that George was the source of incessantly knocking on the walls and their respective bedroom doors. Cold spots were felt around the house. Dominga sold the mansion, and she and his widow went their separate ways. The voices in the night, cold gusts throughout the house, and other eerie disturbances were too much to handle for new owners. In 1923, Carrie Rousseau purchased the house and learned to live with the ghost by living with her 50 cats only in the ballroom until she died in 1974. The mansion was then converted into apartments. Tenants would hear knockings and feel a cold wind that they believe is George, who was miserable there while alive but now apparently refuses to leave. Legend has it that 4 ghosts supposedly haunt the apartment building: George, his mother, his wife, and Carrie Rousseau. It is reported that tenants have difficulty going to sleep due to the knocking on bedroom doors. Tenants have seen manifestations. One tenant moved out when he witnessed a gathering of ghosts. Thank you for joining me on this eerie journey through San Francisco's haunted history. Remember, the city is full of stories, some told and some waiting to be discovered. Until next time, stay curious and stay spooky. Please support this channel by liking, subscribing, and commenting. Thank you very much.